Hello, my name is Andrew Smith. I'm a partner in the litigation department in Santon at Bowman Gilfillan. I'm wanting to talk about the three areas of law in which I specialize. The first being constitutional law, the second being administrative law, and the final one being competition or antitrust law. Firstly, in relation to constitutional law, when I started university in 1997, the Constitution had just come into effect the previous year. The Constitutional Court was in its infancy, and constitutional litigation was just out of the starting blocks. And I became fascinated by the effect that the Constitution could have on people's lives. I took every elective that related to constitutional law, and eventually ended up studying an LLM in France in public law, focusing on fundamental rights in 2003. I focused there on the impact that socio-economic rights could have in France and in South Africa. I was fortunate enough then, when I came to work at Bowman Gilfillan, to be able to indulge that passion for constitutional law in my everyday work. I've been involved in a number of constitutional court matters, the first being the first set of them related to the intersection between administrative law and the right to fair labour practices. And there I was involved in a matter where the Constitutional Court decided what the test was when CCMA arbitrators' decisions were being reviewed. Recently, I've been involved on behalf of the police in a case which determined whether public sector employees could go to the High Court to litigate their employment rights or whether they were required to follow the LRA mechanisms. I've also been involved in a couple of interesting matters for the Electoral Commission, one involving the right of South Africans to vote overseas, another involving the right of a Member of Parliament to be admitted in Parliament, and finally in the dispute between the ANC and the Congress of the People in relation to the use of the name Cope. I was also involved in a constitutional court case which involved the State Liability Act and whether it was constitutional, and also the meaning of Regulation 24 of the South African Police Service Act. Recently, I've been involved in giving advice on the political party funding bill to a provincial legislature, and currently I'm advising on the constitutionality of the Competition Amendment Act and also the Municipal Electoral Act. And in January, we won a case before the Constitutional Court where it decided to uphold a decision by the SCA where we had represented the National Prosecuting Authority in a judicial review of a decision to terminate a Deputy Director of Public Prosecution Services. And that leads me naturally onto the second area in which I specialize, administrative law. There I've been involved on a whole range of administrative action reviews, either for the state or for the party that was affected by the administrative action. I've been involved in the Labour Court on a number of occasions in reviews of administrative action there, and I'm increasingly involved in tender reviews where disgruntled tenderers, for example, are involved in trying to review administrative action when they weren't awarded tenders. I'm also involved increasingly in matters where the South African Revenue Service is involved, and there's a lot of income tax litigation where administrative action takes place, and also the Competition Commission, which is an administrative body, often has its decisions reviewed. That leads me then onto the third area in which I specialize, which is competition law or antitrust law. There I've been involved in leniency applications, investigations and prohibited practices, as well as currently I'm involved in giving advice on class actions and civil actions. In conclusion, I've been fortunate enough to have a wide variety of clients, both in the public and private sector, and a wide variety of matters where each day I'm involved in different facts, different laws. And I think that's the beauty of constitutional law, that involves disputes ranging from pure commercial, contractual disputes all the way to fundamental rights. And that's why I'm fortunate enough to be able to indulge the passion that I have for constitutional law.